everyone, so first video review for this week is for Burn It Down by Aten. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, or if you're on my blog on my Facebook, there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Burn It Down by Aten. This was such an emotional story, and it had so much depth to it. It basically, so it's about Ash, and she's a firefighter, and she's dealing with the traumatic aftermath of losing her best friend. So that sort of triggers a little bit of damage and heartache from the past for her as well. And then she meets her new neighbour Mia, which just adds a whole new level of complication to everything. So Ash finds Mia really lovely, really friendly, and really welcoming, and they have this really instant attraction. They get on really well, they're friends, and this instant attraction between one another. But Ash, she's the one that sort of holds it back a lot, because she's got all these demons of her past, and they really are haunting her, like they truly haunt her. But you know, with Mia sort of being there to support her and love her, it's more a story of Ash trying to see if she can forgive herself, finally accept what happened, and if she can be happy, which is a lovely sort of moral for a story, I think, really. So like I said, I loved how much depth this had. It's morals, it's dealing with post-traumatic stress. It was really emotionally moving. There was a lot of character depth in there, and you really experienced what Ash went through then and now, quite vividly. And the way Aten has taken a difficult subject and handled it sensitively is really a trademark of her style for writing stories with an edge. She's really good at this, picking a subject that is perhaps not always that straightforward and bringing a real emotional story, and giving you something a little bit different. So it gave a lot to think about for both Ash and me as the reader, and I found that really clever in the way it addressed the conscience of the reader as well, because it was talking a lot about feelings and emotions, but also thoughts and feelings and dealing with the past. That was a lot to process, and it was a story that sort of gives you pause for thought. It's something to think about, and that's what makes it a strong story. It's a really, really strong story in that respect. I absolutely adored so much about this story, but really it was the emotional connection that you got with Ash and her experience that made this one something special. I really did, really loved it. But the one thing I will say, because it's one of those books where it's got a sensitive subject in it, and so there's a lot in this one, there's a lot of hard-hitting stuff. It got quite sensitive and dark at points, which I think really added to the reading experience. It really added to the depth, and it really gave you a good insight into the character and getting to know her. But others might find it a bit traumatic to read about. But that's always the way when there's a sensitive subject in a book. It's personal preference. But my personal preference is give it a go, because you never know. You might find something in it. You might like something in it. It might give you a different perspective. So I really like that about it. And obviously Ash and Mia, they have this brilliant connection, so it's from the second they meet, it's so obvious they were going to get along, but it wasn't clear how much they were going to become to mean to one another, and it wasn't clear early how much Mia was going to be of help to Ash in dealing with everything she was. The way Mia stepped up and then did that and supported Ash, even though she didn't fully understand what was happening sometimes, was really admirable, and it made her a really likeable character. But being Ash's story, it was Ash who really gave you as the reader something to connect with and experience. So going through traumatic events of her past with her as she's trying to deal with them, following the fact they've been triggered by another traumatic event, that makes her such a strong person, and how all those demons affected her. Even though she was a strong person, she was strong-willed, and she tried to close them off, and it didn't really work out. But it was upsetting, but showed how emotionally rewarding it was in intricately getting to know her. It was brilliant. It was really well executed and put together, and I really think Ash is one of those characters that you'll love her. You won't be able to not love her. So it's just a great read, and I would highly recommend it. And I really hope that we see more from Ash and Mia in the future, because I think there's now more to their story that I would like to know. I would like to know how they're getting on now. I think that would be absolutely brilliant. So I absolutely loved Burn It Down by Kate Aten. I'll pop a link in the description so that you can go and grab a copy of the book. I hope you will. If you've read Burn It Down by Kate Aten, again, let me know, get in touch, drop your comments below. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on the book. If you haven't read it yet, but it's on your to read list, you're planning to read it, or now you're super interested in reading it, again, let us know, because it's always great to hear what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I really hope you enjoy it. Bye.